welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode with Boss Beauty. My name is Olatejuwelo if you're new, and if you've been coming all along, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for staying. I appreciate all of you. Yes. So, on today's episode, from the title, this is a story time. Not really a story time, but something that I have learned, and I thought, right, it would be nice to share with you, my subscribers, and everybody that wants to listen. So, yes, let's get into the gist. Right, so you guys know that I have been at home during this pandemic almost a year. Well, it is actually been a year, but I've been back in work, and then I've been back shielding because of my health condition. So I've been asked to shield from March last year, which I have been, and I am still at home until end of March. And during that period, I have learned so many things, and gosh, I appreciate life. I appreciate the people around me more, and I just appreciate everything. I'm the kind of person that on a normal day, right before COVID, I barely stay at home. Like, I know I've mentioned this a few times in my video that if you see me at home on, during the day, in the afternoon, or even weekend, it must be because there's something wrong. Like, I was probably sick and I'm just getting better. And obviously I've got sickle cell. You guys already know that. And from that, every now and then I get crisis, which is painful episodes, and I go to hospital, and then I have to come back home, stay at home and rest for a month, sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes depending on the severity of that pain at the time. And it just got to me like, wow, like life is very, very small, like very, very short. Let me just say that, because you would actually think, oh, life is going to keep going and all of that, but no, it isn't. And one of the first things that I have actually learned is that we should learn to appreciate what we have, especially our jobs. Like, those of us that are still able to keep our job during this COVID, like during the pandemic period, we should really, really appreciate it. Like, during this period, I have learned so many things that even sometimes now, I'm like, wow, if I had known this before. And one of the things that I have actually learned is, obviously, I went to school, and not obviously, but yes, in school, I actually, for my university days, or even from primary school, secondary school, choosing subjects and all of that, I've always been science. And then going to uni, I did biomedical science, and I work as a biomedical scientist. And the only thing that I know is actually science related. Like, I don't know anything else apart from that. Then the next thing I know is makeup, which obviously they're two different worlds. And now in this COVID period, I've started joining. I've joined the amount of Zoom that I've joined in this pandemic period. On a normal day, I would never have thought that I would join it, or I would even get involved in it, or even be interested in it. And it has opened my eyes to so many things. And if you're not careful, sometimes these things that you think that you're learning, they'll probably take away from you what you have. Like, they will rob you of what you have. Okay, so as I was saying, so the only thing that I know or that I'm interested in is, if it's not biomedical science related, then maybe science, anything science related or makeup related. Everything else, I'm always like blind to it. When you talk about things like marketing, networking, business, all of this kind of thing, I've always been into business, like selling and buying and selling. I'm a Mary Kay beauty consultant, I'm a makeup artist. Obviously they still relate, but there are other things into networking and marketing that people don't know. And there's so many things. Like, if you're in this life, guys, you need to do research. Like, research outside of what you know, research outside of your comfort zone. That's one thing that I have learned. And from learning it, it actually made me appreciate my job. Like, it made me appreciate my job as a biomedical scientist. Like, going to school and graduating as a biomedical scientist, I got a job as a biomedical scientist, and then I did my master's in biomedical science as well, specializing in transfusion and hematology, and I work in that field. And this pandemic actually made me appreciate that route, like getting a job from what you've actually learned from school. I've done so much networking things, like, I don't know if I should say jobs, but I've done so much networking things during this pandemic, and I'm like, wow, guys, you guys that are into sales, I don't know how you do it, but I throw in my cap for you guys. Like, it's not easy talking to people, calling people that you don't know, or even people that you've not spoken to in a very long time, calling them from nowhere and trying to share with them what you have. And even though this thing that I have to share with them is something that is very, 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 very important, something that they will benefit from, but in my mind, I'm just like, I don't even talk to them often. Like, how am I going to call them? And the other people that I work with, you know the way they say it, like, oh, you need to do this, just do this, you know, build a rapport. And I'm like, I can't. I don't know how to build a... I work in the lab. I only talk to the analyzer and my colleagues. So, you know, it made it really difficult for me to actually talk to people outside of my comfort zone. Obviously, my comfort zone is working in the lab. And as a makeup artist, my comfort zone are my clients that come to me. As a makeup artist, the clients come to you. You don't go to them. No, even if they want to learn, they still come to you. But working in the sales, it's difficult, guys. It is really, really, really difficult. And I really, really, like, thank God, I appreciate my job more now. And even before COVID, I used to say to people that, oh, if you want to go into business or side hustle or anything different, then you want to go into anything, you know, events like decoration, makeup, photography, videography, and someone that rents a hall. I don't know what English to use for that. I can't. Hall renter. Okay, guys, but seriously, I used to think that those kind of jobs would never run down. COVID proved me wrong. Like, no, anything can end. So the other thing that I have learned is spending time with the family. I've said this once, second, and now I'm saying it the third time in this video, that I'm the kind of person that I'm not always at home. I'm at home during the week, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I don't work every day, and most of the time I'm off during the week anyway. So I'm always at home. And then weekends, like Saturday, Sunday, sometimes even from Friday, I've got makeup job to do, and then I go... Sometimes in fact, with my makeup, I do 12 hours in a day sometimes. And then when I come back on Saturday, I just want to sleep. And then on Sunday, I'm off. As in, off to go and do makeup again. And then I get home maybe later in the evening and I just want to sleep. And then on Monday, I've got to go to my biomedical science job. You know, there was no time spending with the family. But with this COVID, staying at home, it made me appreciate that little time. Like, wow. And it is during this pandemic that so many people actually realized the little gaps that was in their family. And, you know, I've had so many broken homes during this pandemic, and I'm just thankful that nothing bad or anything like that has happened to myself or the people that are around me. But you just have to appreciate these little things. You don't spend time with your children, especially. Like I said, I'm usually at home during the week, but weekend I'm not, and I feel really guilty now that, you know, I'm at home. And then I feel like I'm just useless. I don't even know what to do, because most of the time they were there with my mom. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't even... Sometimes I'm just angry. Like, so you leave me alone. Like, okay, I'm tired. You know? And then I'm thinking, what about those days that I wasn't at home and it was grandma doing it? How has she been coping? So many things. And even Sabur, sometimes he would ask for some things, and grandma this, mommy that, mommy this, mommy... Sophia, please, Sabu, please, stop calling mommy for 1 minute. Like, seriously, we don't appreciate what we have. Like, when you know that, okay, in the morning we've all gone our ways, and then we're back at home in the evening. That little 1 hour that we have to spend before we go to sleep, before we leave the house for the next, you know, thing to do the next day, we should learn to appreciate those little minutes, seconds, hours that we have with our family and with our friends. So many people that have lost their lives during this pandemic, like people that have got plans for tomorrow, they've got plans for the next 10 years, all that plans gone to drain. It's not because they wanted it. It's because that's the way God wanted it. And we should be thankful that we are here. Like, we are actually here to see the end of this pandemic. Obviously, it's not over yet, but at least we are still here. I'm so grateful for that. Yeah. And then, now thinking about, oh yeah, I've got savings. Savings finished. Like, I don't even know how to put this out there. Like, I don't even know how to say it. But I feel like I don't have any money. I don't have anything left in my bank account because the money that you get on a normal day wasn't coming in. Seriously, this pandemic has, I'm sure, will let you, so I'm saying it, but I know you guys I probably witnessed one or two of these things that I'm saying, and you'll be like, yes, this has happened to me, this has happened to me. And sometimes knowledge is power. There are some things that I was blindfolded to, that I never thought that I would do, or I don't even know that it existed. So it's like, yeah, I don't know about it, so why are you telling me about it, And then even about my skin alone, I learned so many things. Like, from that first lockdown, I attended so many Instagram lives as well, because I'm sure if you guys can remember the first lockdown, people were coming out with different Instagram live, and so many people actually came out with their business as well. And that's another thing that I'm still getting to. And then from that Instagram video, it was with Joy Adenuga and I can't remember that lady's name. Is it Dr. Uche or something like that? And she's a skin doctor. She talked about, skin, how you can look after your skin. And that was where I picked up from that for black skin, or for dark skin, should I say, you need to use retinol and SPF on your skin. Obviously, as a miracle consultant, I've always used SPF, but it was never good for my skin. And then after this session, I bought some and I tried it and it was still not good. But then I used the retinol and that was perfect. And with that, I have seen much more difference in my skin. Like, I have more time during that COVID to look after myself. Like, so that was good. But then in that lockdown as well, I've spent money. Like, I spent money on several things. And guys, if you're not careful, like, this should be going forward. Not obviously, we're coming to the end of lockdown, but this should be going forward for you guys. Like, it's not everything that you hear that you should jump at or you should buy. Seriously, I bought so many skincare products and I tried so many things as well, from natural products, from you guys saw my video about using tomato on my skin. That really worked. And then I bought this La Roche-Posay SPF. I know it works for some people, it didn't work for me. I bought the spray, I bought the cream, and then I got to medicate, I got the retinol, and that was perfect, and I'm still using that now. And then I got the cleanser, and so many things that I've been able to try in this lockdown that I would not have normally tried, or I wouldn't even have the time to try it. And then in terms of business as well, you get so many people coming out with so much business. And when I finished my master's sometime 2 years ago, oh my god, it's gone so quick. 2 years ago, before I finished, I was saying, oh yes, I'm coming out with my brand, I'm coming out with my own lashes, I'm coming out with my own beauty blender. Trust me guys, I actually bought the incentives. I bought the lashes like a bulk. I bought the wholesale lashes, wholesale like a beauty blender. Like, I got boxes delivered to me. And then lockdown happened and I'm like, oh yeah, I know so many people that are selling lashes now. There's no point bringing out my own, And yeah, that went under the carpet, and I was doing makeup videos for you guys, and I was using the lashes, I used the beauty blender. Even though I've got my own beauty blender, I was still supporting other brands. I bought their own, Remsco Creations, True Glam Beauty, I got the brush cleaner, and I was still supporting and I was still buying these things, and I've got them at home. Yeah, but what I'm trying to get out is, if there's anything you want to do, guys, don't say because your friend is doing it, you're not going to do it. Or don't say because, oh, I know someone that is doing it, I'm not going to share it with them. No, you never know who is going to need your service or who is going to buy your things. Myself, my sister, my friends, even though we are friends, like my cousins, we are friends, but they've got their friends, I've got my other friends that they don't know. you never know who is going to buy your product. So bring it out. Like, as long as you know what you're doing, you can get yourself out there. You just need to be present, literally be present with what you do. Let people know that this is what you do. Don't say, oh yes, I'm a makeup artist, or I've got my lash brand, and you're not putting it out. Like, I know so many people actually asked me, like, oh, Teju, so when is the lashes coming out? When is the beauty blender coming out? And I'm like, oh yeah, I stopped it because at least personally, I know about 10 people selling lashes, and they're like, really? And that just went down, and I just didn't do anything about it. And then the opportunity to do something else came when I was, trust me, when I said that I was very, very frustrated. I got to a stage I was depressed during that first lockdown, because staying at home for that long, it was because during that first lockdown, it was like, oh, you have to stay at home for 12 weeks. And I'm like, 12 weeks? Doing what? How am I going to cope? Like, and then I think maybe 3 or 4 weeks down the line, I was really bored. I needed something to do. But because I wasn't aware, or I wasn't open to all these other things that was out there, business coaches, or who can help me with my lash brand that I had in my head, someone that could bring the dream out for me. I was not aware of these people. Like, I don't even know that they existed. I just felt like, oh yeah, I'm a makeup artist, I have to do these things myself. Yeah, you can do things yourself, but sometimes you need that little help or that little information. And then I went into insurance. And guys, I must say, I've been able to help so many families with that insurance, because myself, I have benefited from that insurance. And trust me when I say that, because I know that so many people are aware of, oh, life insurance, but it's not just about life insurance. When you are still alive, how do you cope when little things happen to you? You're sick, you spend a year in hospital, you're not dead. Life insurance doesn't pay for that situation. But there's an insurance that pays for it. Did you know about it? Did you find out about it? Did you research about it? Did you join that Zoom that you were invited to? No. So I've benefited from that, from my sickle cell. Anytime I'm sick, I go into hospital, I make a claim, and I get paid for the days that I spend in hospital, 2 days, 5 days. I think I've actually claimed for 10 days before that I spend in hospital. Life insurance would not pay for that. And another information that I want you guys to know is that it's not everybody that can get life insurance. No. But when life was normal, everyone was buying ashwebi, we were buying gele, buying clothes, things that we don't need. Yeah, I'm guilty of that, okay? But I'm guilty in terms of makeup, but I use this makeup for my job. So I get paid for using these things. That's one thing. But if I'm just buying it and I'm not using it and I'm not getting paid for it, that's waste of money. So don't get it twisted, because I know some of you will come at me, but yes, don't get it wrong, okay? So I've been able to benefit from that. And I'm just like, thank God I had that sort out for me. And so many people that died during this COVID, they didn't plan it. They didn't know they were going to die, and they didn't take a life insurance. And some people actually, they were sick, they were in hospital for days, and then they came back out. But before they got back into their normal life, or before they were even able, how were they even able to cope when they were in the hospital? Or some people that has even lost their job, how were they able to cope? Do you know about income protection? I think I'm going to do another video about insurance later on. But yes, these are the things that I learned. So I became, I started reading about insurance, and then I became a protection advisor. And oh my God, that helped me a lot. Like, that gave me that peace of mind that, okay, money was coming in, and I'm helping people, I'm helping families, especially in this tough time. On a normal day, when there was no COVID, I would never listen to anyone that says to me, oh, come and do this insurance job. Like, really? What are you talking about? In fact, when I was called, I did say to the person that called me, and I said, no, I'm not interested. I said, no. I said, because I'm a biomedical scientist, and then I'm a makeup artist, and now insurance. Like, they don't even relate, And the guy said, but you have benefited from it. I said, yes. He said, why don't you want to help people? Do you not know people that are in your situation that would benefit from getting paid when they're in hospital? Or that they would benefit from when their child is in hospital and they cannot go to work? And I'm like, okay. So I felt guilty. So I started it. And then I'm actually enjoying it. And I'm glad that I went into that. And then, recently, or let me say end of last year, towards the end of 2020. And then I joined another Zoom session about business strategy. And then they started talking about different things. And they said something about your passion, not putting food on your table. And then I evaluated myself in terms of my makeup. And I'm like, yeah, that's the difference between myself and some other makeup artist. I love being a makeup artist. I love doing makeup. Like, I actually love it so much that even if I do 10 faces and they don't pay me, it doesn't get to me because I enjoy it. And in fact, sometimes I don't even know how to charge my clients just because I feel like, oh, I'm just doing their faces, isn't it? And then you still get some clients that would say, oh, what's the difference between bridal makeup and everyday makeup? And I'm like, it's different. It's two different things entirely. And then when she said that, I'm like, what if I have had this information before COVID? My lash, my beauty blender that I said I wanted to bring her, I wouldn't put it under the carpet. I would have worked on that, and that would have kept me busy during this COVID. And then she mentioned about, did you know that there were so many people that came out with their business ideas and they sold out in the pandemic? And I'm like, yeah, I know quite a few people. Why can't I be that person? Because I didn't have the information, because I didn't do my research. I didn't talk, I didn't speak to people. I didn't ask the questions, you know? So sometimes when you ask questions, when you do your research, you would know what you want, you know? And then sometimes when I'm calling clients for my insurance business, I feel guilty sometimes because I'm like, they know me as a biomedical scientist, they know me as a makeup artist, and now they would know me as an insurance advisor. And that really, really disturbed me for a very long time. But then later on, I'm like, yeah, you know, I've got this skill. I've got this talent to do different things. And I can help different people with different things. You know, it's not everybody that would need my insurance advice, but they need me to do their makeup. You know? And then it's not everyone that needs me to do their makeup, but they need me in the lab as a biomedical scientist. So these are three different things. But anything I do, if I say so myself, I do it well. Like, I make sure I put my all into it. Yeah? And then I got that information, and then I started feeling guilty that, oh, maybe if I had had that information, that's what I would have done in the pandemic. That would have kept me busy. Maybe I wouldn't have even gone into insurance in the first place, you know. And that guilt of, oh, why now? Why insurance now? Wouldn't have been there, you know. That affected me a lot, but I'm glad that I still went for it. And then the other thing she mentioned was the fact that, oh, don't say because my friend is doing it, I'm not going to do it. That's like the wrongest, if that English is right, that is like the wrongest perspective to have about anything you want to do for yourself. You should be confident in what you know. That's one thing that I have learned in this COVID. Like, be confident in yourself. Be confident in what you have. Be confident in what you can offer. Okay? I'm not a motivational speaker, but these are the things that I've learned, and I felt like I have to share it. And, you know, when she said that, I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, I felt bad, like, oh, and then I started reviewing myself, like, maybe if I had known this information, I would have sold this amount of lashes or whatever. But even if I had brought the lashes business out, because I was still not in that right frame of mind at that time, it probably wouldn't have gone anywhere, because it would just be there, and then obviously I probably wouldn't even know what to do, because I don't even know the right people to help me. I don't know the right people to contact. I don't know the right person to talk to. And that was another thing. And then the other thing I learned was all this online business. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm like, why can't we do business without having to bring people? But then on the other hand, you're thinking, if I don't bring people, how would they know about it? How would I solve their problem? You know, sometimes when you take something to someone, it's not about you wanting to collect their money. It's not about you wanting to take from them. But you should think about it in a way that, what if I'm actually taking a solution to them? Yeah? What if I'm going to help them with something that they are going through? But if you don't talk to them, you would not know. You would not know if they need that service at that time. You would not know if they will benefit from that offer at that time. So it's always good to talk. I'm saying this is easy because obviously I'm doing a video. I'm still very shy talking to people. Yeah, I don't know, with YouTube, I think because I've just decided that I want to do YouTube, that shyness has gone away, and then the confidence has entered me, and then I talk I say whatever. But in real life, I'm not this talkative. No, I'm a very quiet person, a very reserved person. And you're thinking, oh, what is she got to offer? But the thing is, as an individual, you could have 10 things to offer one person. If you don't say one of them out, you never know. You never know who is going to benefit from it. You never know who is ready to listen or who wants to hear what you have. So guys, please feel free to talk to people, share your knowledge, and pick knowledge from people as well. Those are the things that I have learned. But be careful where you put your money. Okay? Be careful where you put your money, because most of these things that I've talked about is all about money. Yeah? And then, you know, I don't want this to go too long, because yeah, I don't want you guys to see me as a motivational speaker and then you will start asking me, oh Teju, we want some of that info. I'm only telling you this because I learned it. I found out about it, and I'm glad that, you know, I was at home during this period. I have the time to actually join these sessions and learned one from this, one from that, one from there, one from that. And then one thing that I've started exploring recently, I'm going to be sharing that with you guys very soon, but it is trading and investing, shares and stocks. If you don't know about that, guys, it is high time you learned about it. And that's one thing that I'm exploring at the moment. I will be bringing you guys some more information, more videos. But if you would like to learn more, then please put it in the comment section and I'll be sure to hook you up. Okay, don't be shy. Like I said, always ask. And then another thing you need to know is you spend money to find money. You don't just think, oh yeah, I'm just going to sit in my ass and then the money will come to me. No. If you're investing, what does that mean? You've spent money, and then when the profit comes, it comes to you. So you spend money to get money. If you're going to go into business, you spend money to get the money back from that business. Because obviously you have to buy your incentives. You have to buy the product you want to sell. If you sell it, then you get your money back. If you have these things, you keep them at home, how would the money come? It doesn't. So guys, the kids are back from school. I don't want this video to be too long because they will start shouting. So thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for enjoying this video with me. If you want a part 2, a continuation of this video, I will be sure to bring it to you. Okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate you for your for staying with me, for your consistency. Seriously, you need to learn English as well. Read your dictionary. Those are the things that I've been doing this COVID. And okay, thank you so much guys. I will see you next time in my next video. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends. Knowledge is power, sharing is caring. See you next time. Bye.